All right, so now we're live. Hello everyone, and welcome to GetResponse webinar. It's great to see so many of you joining. Just quickly before we're gonna officially start, can you please confirm that you can hear and see us well? Cool. So it seems like many people have very good connection, which is great. I hope it will stay this way since most of us are joining from home, just like me. So let's begin then. My name is Daria. I'm part of GetResponse marketing team, where I have pleasure working with great experts and influencers, such as Pam Moore, our host for today's webinar. So let's welcome Pam as our host. And just a couple of words about Pam. So Pam is accomplished online marketing expert. She's a keynote speaker and a best-selling author and CEO of Marketing Nuts Company and the host of a popular social Zoom Factor podcast. So Pam has over 20 years of experience helping entrepreneurs and SMBs to build their brands and also establish their marketing strategies. So today, I'm very happy that Pam joined us for this webinar, and she's going to present her tips and tricks for you, how you can build high-converting landing pages, autoresponders, and emails, which will actually help you engage your audience for the long term. So thank you very much once again, Pam, for joining us. It's great to have you here. I know that Pam is joining us from US, and I'm here in our headquarters in Poland. So just if you could guys quickly let us know where you're joining us from. And I'm gonna see it on the chat. So we have UK, great, Norway, UK, India, US, of course, Seattle, Texas, India, Malaysia. Oh wow.
Wow, I love it.
Canada, Florida, Wisconsin, Tennessee, Greece.
Florida.
I see them all on the chat because there are so many messages I cannot even handle to publish them all. But there's so many of them because today we truly have very international community all over the world, it seems. So glad to see you all guys here. Amazing. So, okay, right before we're gonna finally dive in the topic, just gonna go over a couple of housekeeping things. So I'm going to be moderating the chat today. So if you have any questions about GetResponse product, I'll be there to answer them. And if you're also going to have any questions about the webinar and something to Pam, you can also write them down in the chat, and I will make sure that Pam knows it. And 15 minutes till the end of the webinar, we're going to take the questions and hopefully answer all of them. I'm sure there will be a lot of good ones. And also, we are recording this webinar today. So in the next couple of days, you're going to receive an email with a recording from us. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, that's it. Please enjoy the webinar and make sure to actually stick around till the end because me and Pam, we have something very, very cool to announce and share with you guys. So I hope you all enjoy it. Pam, the floor is yours, and I'm going to meet you all guys on chat then.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited everybody's here. And like Daria said, we do have a big announcement at the end, so make sure that you stay tuned for that. You won't want to miss it. So today what we're talking about is one of my favorite topics. And when Daria and GetResponse reached out to me and said, hey, do you want to partner up on some content that we can help educate our audience on how to really use email marketing? And before we dive in, I just want to tell you that I am a huge believer in email marketing. You may hear some of your peers say email marketing doesn't work. If you hear that, just laugh at them and say, okay, I'm glad you think that. Most of the time, if somebody tells you email marketing will not help you increase sales or increase brand awareness, connect with your customer, they usually just don't know what they're honestly talking about. They don't know how to use it. So I'll tell you, email marketing combined with amazing content has been what has helped us grow our business. So I worked 15 years in corporate America and then started my company about 10 years ago. And we work with brands of all sizes. And I'll tell you, email marketing engages your audiences and will convert to real business. So if you're looking to generate leads and sales and provide continuous value to your audience in a way that takes you not that much time, email marketing is the way to do it. So today we're going to cover 5 tips to boost customer engagement with email marketing. And this, at the end of my presentation, I'm also going to be doing a live demo and show you how to set up a newsletter as well as a landing page utilizing the GetResponse system so you can see how easy it really is to do. So, and then this topics and the way that I'm presenting this information today may be a little bit different than what you're expecting. And I promise what I'm sharing with you are the strategies and tips that will make your email marketing programs successful. And it's not just about the tools and technology. And that is the main thing you get with a platform like GetResponse. They make it easy for you. And it's so easy for people to just think about technology and they're like, until I master the technology, I'm not going to serve my audience. And that's why you have to select the right tools, being like a GetResponse system that gives you everything that you need. And then you get to focus on how are you going to utilize that technology to stay connected and build those relationships with your customers. So it's not what can the technology do for you, but it's instead what can you do with the technology. So let's go ahead and dig right in. So email marketing can help you increase conversion rates, your sales, help you nurture relationships, collect data and learn about your audience continuously, help you increase brand awareness and continuously engage your audience and customers. Now, a few stats. I promise I only have a couple slides of stats, but there are 4.3 billion email users as of 2020. And I'd love to hear, maybe in the comments, you can tell us, what's the first app you open every day? I know for our business, email is definitely the first app I open, probably followed by Twitter. And then in 2019, there was 3.9 billion email users. So you can see how it's still progressing. $42 is the average return on investment for every dollar that people spend. There are 293.6 billion emails that are sent and received in 2019. That's expected to jump all the way up to 347.3 billion daily emails by 2022. 9 out of 10 marketers use email marketing to distribute their content organically. So that's a big way that we use it. I publish a new podcast. I send out an email to let people know that podcast is available. I publish a new video, and we're able to distribute all of our content organically. So 81% of SMBs, so small, medium businesses, rely on email as primary acquisition channel. 80% of them use it for retention. So that's retaining and loyalty. Welcome emails have an average open rate of 82%. This is huge. So anytime that you are welcoming somebody or you have an email after somebody downloads something from you, that first email is what matters more than anything. You're going to get the highest open rate with that. And you have that first impression that you can make the right way. Adding video to your email will increase your open rates by up to 300%. And then 49% of consumers want weekly promotional emails from their favorite brands with great deals. Okay. And I'm sure you're probably doing the same thing right now. So tip number 1 is to know your goals. And I want you to really think about this. Why? That number 1 question is why are you engaging in doing email marketing? Why should anyone care that you're doing this? Why should anyone care that you decided to jump into email marketing or that you're taking it to the next level, that you want to provide value to your audience? What's in it for your audience and why are you doing it? People today, and particularly with everything going on globally with the pandemic, it's just getting worse. There's so much noise out there. And so people are so tired of email spam and advertisements and just the noisy political things that are happening. And they're losing trust with brands. And so, our goal is to make sure you saw the stats of how many emails are getting sent per day. We want to make sure that when they see an email from you, that they want to open it. And it's giving them hope that, they know and can trust that there's something on the other side of that email that is going to be helpful for them. People are tired of not having control. They're tired of, opting out of something and we keep spamming them. So we really need to make sure we're respecting, laws and regulations, as well as just I always say respecting that person's inbox, respecting their timeline, respecting their time. And because none of us have time to waste nowadays, life is a bit crazy. So when you're thinking about your goals for email marketing, here are some common things that you may want to think about for your business. Do you want to use email to grow brand awareness? And maybe, maybe you've just launched a new product or a new business and people may know a little bit about it. The email marketing is a great way for them to know more about who you are, what you are about, how you can help them. A good goal is obviously we all want to grow our email list. Quality over quantity, keeping that list clean is so important. Generating leads, right? I mean, email marketing can absolutely convert to more business. I don't know about you, but I definitely like to get more sales coming from my email marketing. Increasing those sales and maximizing the return on investment out of every piece of content that you're getting. So in simple terms, that basically means every video you produce, every podcast, every blog post, even what you've invested in your social channels, every piece of marketing, you can increase that return that you're getting from that with email because you can engage an audience that signed up to have a conversation with you. And then engaging our audience. So it may be difficult in today to engage your audience on any channel unless you're paying for ads or you have already an actively engaged audience. Email is really kind of that fast run rate, that fast ramp to where you can start engaging your audience the minute somebody signs up. So you don't have to wait for them to trust you. They've already taken that first step of trust by giving you their email. So as long as you continue to earn that trust, then you're always going to have them paying attention to what you're doing. And then another option would be if maybe you want to make sales from affiliate sales with partners or whatever that may be, if you're reselling somebody else's products or services. So that can also work. So you also want to make sure that you have the right key performance indicators that you're measuring. And if you're just starting out, your top what we call a KPI may not be conversions. You may not be ready for a sale quite yet. But you may be looking at things like website visits. You may be, how many people are actually clicking through and going to your website. Once they're there, what is the bounce rate of that page that they landed on? How quickly do they stay on that page? Do they watch the video? Are they listening to the content? What kind of content are they consuming when you're sending them to that? And so you want to look at, KPIs that are more than even just your email marketing, right? You want to look at your entire marketing system and see how that's helping you. How are you segmenting your audiences, right? Are those segments that when you segment them, and we'll talk about that in a minute, when you segment your target audiences, which ones are performing the best? And then deliverability. And that's why that word basically means your emails are getting delivered. And that's where a good platform like GetResponse comes in because they take care of that for you. They're making sure that your emails are getting delivered. Open rates. So are people opening it? If not, you probably want to check out those subject lines, right? We want to always be grabbing that attention, making it be believable, exciting, curiosity. There's lots of ways that we can get people to open emails. For our audience loves emojis. And there's a lot of sites out there where you can just grab an emoji and use those as well. Bounce rates, I talked about that. And then spam complaints. You want to look at if people are marking your content as spam. If it's spam, you need to relook at the words that you're using inside your emails and just do a search on Google. There's a lot of different tools you can use to make sure your content is not spam. You want to be looking at unsubscribes. If people are opting in and then immediately unsubscribing, that's a metric you definitely want to watch. However, 100 engaged people that want your content is better than 1,000 that don't want it. So don't be afraid to keep that list clean and remove those people that are not interested in your content. And then last is loyalty. So how are customers staying loyal to you, your brand, your email list, all of those things. Tip number 2 is just to make sure that we know our audience. And as simple as this may seem, and I'll tell you, we work with brands of all sizes. There have been so many clients that we've worked with where they just say, I can sell to anybody, Pam. I can sell to anybody between this age bracket that is interested in this type of topic. But I want you to really think about, do you really, really know your customer? Do you know what's keeping them up at night? Do you know what they need from you? Why do they need that from you? How are you going to help them? The top 3 ways that businesses fail when it comes to digital marketing, and this includes email marketing. Number 1, it's a lack of planning. So they just haven't taken the time to think about how they're going to use email marketing or how they're going to use social media. Number 2 is lack of patience. So many give up before they even get started. They'll send like one email marketing campaign. They're like, oh, nobody opened that, so I'm just going to give up. Email's dead. It doesn't work. Oh, don't do that. And then number 3 is it's not aligned to audience needs. If you align your content and your email priorities to the needs of your audience, you will succeed. So we want to take an audience-first marketing approach to our email marketing. This is worth your time. Audience marketing in a nutshell is basically an intentional alignment of your marketing messages, content, and focus to the needs of your audience. It shifts the focus from you to them, all right? So instead of being just about your promotions, though that may be tempting to send every email, you are providing value that's actually helping them. So when we build an audience-first marketing strategy, we prioritize our audience as the number 1 priority for developing marketing strategies, tactics, and detailed plans for execution. Okay, so it is the number 1 priority. We don't do anything else unless we know what our audience wants and needs from us. So your target audience is who you want to sell your products or services to. Don't overcomplicate it. And, there's a lot of marketers that love digging into this stuff. And then there's a lot of business leaders, business owners, marketers that think, oh, it's just a waste of time. I already know my customer. I want you to get very specific and create what we call a buyer persona. So a buyer persona is a semi-fictional, generalized representation of your, I keep hitting the mouse somehow, generalized representation of your ideal customer based on market research and real data. So it's based on what you qualitatively know about your customer. It's based on research, and it's based on data that you have available. So you pull this content together, this data together, and it's helping us understand the customer that we want to attract and relate to as humans. So who is that dream customer? So if I were to ask you, hey, Mary or John, whatever your name is, tell me about your customer. I want your eyes to light up and you to be able to tell me, oh my goodness, my dream customer is this person. And so every time that you are writing an email or you're creating a landing page, you should be thinking about who that dream customer is. And we create buyer personas because they help us align to our business goals. They help us align our sales process to the journey that we want our buyers to have. Whether they are just getting to know us or whether they're ready to buy from us. And most importantly, it helps ensure that all of our messages are aligned to what our audience actually wants. And that at the core is how you're going to get engagement on your email marketing. If you skip this step, it's honestly pretty much all for nothing. I mean, if you are not providing value to the people that you want to subscribe and who subscribe, you're going to be disappointed with your results. If you do this as a top priority, you're going to be very happy with your results. So clearly define your buyer persona as your number 1 priority. And it should not take you a long time to do this. You should be able to do this, in less than a week. We have a boot camp where we teach how to do that in less than 5 days, less than an hour a day. But you can go grab my free buyer persona worksheet. You just go to themarketingnuts.com/buyer persona. And it is a 1-page worksheet that looks exactly like this. And then you can create your own buyer persona for each of your target buyers and really start to get in the head of who that buyer is so you can make sure that you are providing them just simply amazing content. So number 3 is exactly that. So serve massive value. How can you make sure that your content is valuable to your audience? Some things to think about. Just simply map your content to buyers' needs. Okay. How can you solve their problems? How can you help them achieve their goals? How can you ease their fears? And particularly where the world is right now, people are fearful. Our families are fearful. How can you make them forget about that fear or not be so fearful, even if it's just for a moment? Decrease that worry. How can you build their confidence that they need to invest in themselves or in their business, or just go get, if you're selling ice cream, go buy an ice cream cone or get their haircut or whatever it is that you do. How can you connect with them emotionally? How can you inspire them to achieve more and to help other people? One simple way to do this is these 3 steps. Create your top 3 buyer personas that we just talked about. And then for each buyer persona, write down the top 3 problems that each of those buyers have. Okay, don't overcomplicate it. Make a list. Your top 3 buyer personas, your top 3 problems that each of them have. And then top 3 ways that you can help solve their problem. If you do this, you have 9 different topics that you can talk to at minimum like that. And I bet you most of you could do this right now. You define your customer and hopefully 3 problems that each of your target buyers has. And so a lot of people will start an email marketing program and they're like, well, I don't know where to start with content. I don't know what to serve to them. This is where you start, right? And all you need to know is who your audience is, what their problems are, where they need help, and you be that person, that brand that helps them. Okay, so engage your audience is step number 3. So this is where we want to make sure we are actively driving our audience to action, okay? So attention plus action on the web today equals social currency. And what we mean by social currency, this is like our digital money. So how are we getting ROI from the efforts we spend online? We need to have attention from our audience, because if we can't get them to pay attention, it's all for nothing. So attention matters. So that's why I mentioned things like emojis. That's why your landing page, right? You have about 6 to 10 seconds for somebody to decide whether they're going to stay on your landing page or not, right? They're going to look at your email header or your email subject line and your what we call a pre-header. That's the content that's right underneath the subject line, and it's that pre-text, which GetResponse makes it really easy for you to include that. They're going to look at the subject line. They're going to look at who it's from. They're going to look at that pre-header to decide if they want to open that email, okay? And then we also need more than just attention. We need them to take action. So when you're putting your plan together, you want to make sure you're driving action. We all want to be told what to do. Like, why do you think so many buttons say learn more, download here, get this, sign up here? Because those words convert. We don't need to overcomplicate it. We need to drive the desired action. When we have attention plus action, we also have what we call emotional currency, okay? So we want more than just currency. We want emotional currency. I'm sorry, my clicker is working weird. It's very sensitive. So brands that inspire a higher emotional intensity receive 3 times as much word of mouth as less emotionally connected brands. Okay, so there is power in touching and pulling the heartstrings, connecting intellectually, connecting in real levels with your audience. And when you're thinking about your content, the key thing to think about is, what conversation do you want to own? What conversation do you want to be known for? Because email marketing is really a conversation. And I don't want you to, and I know I still use the word e-blast when we're sending a newsletter or whatever that may be, because we are blasting a message to our audience. But I want you to think about it more of a conversation. Email marketing is a way that you can have a continual conversation with your audience, and where you started with email, but then you're sending them to other pieces of content where that conversation is continuing in an automated way. And that's why the ROI on email marketing is so high, because it leverages everything you're developing. It leverages every piece of content that you're creating. But think about that one conversation that you want to be known for. Don't pick 5 or 10, pick one, right? There are riches in the niches, and it's good for us to be general, absolutely, and be able to serve more than one person and market segment. But when it comes to things like email marketing, you want to start with your buyer and make sure that you're serving them and that you're having those right conversations. And a good way to do that is to also define your communication. I call it the drumbeat. Okay. So it's that frequency of communications that you give your audience an expectancy. They can expect to hear from you once a week, or, a couple times a week, whatever that may be. What are your goals for that communication? But make sure that you choose a consistency and be at least somewhat consistent and reliable with it. And I know right now times are crazy. Kids are going back to school or not. You may be doing homeschool. So just give yourself grace. I always say perfection's the enemy of really good. But try to have that drumbeat of consistency and make yourself accountable. And I found that when I make myself accountable to my audience, I'm accountable to making sure that I'm following through with anything that I'm implementing. So determine what you want the tone of those conversations to be. What role does your business play? Are you the trusted advisor, the one that's giving them that data and that business information? Maybe you're also the informer, like this is stuff you need to know. Maybe you're a curator. I love curating, that just means curating best content, maybe from other third-party sources. Maybe you're an assistant, like let me help you out with this. Let me help you get to that next level. Are you positioning yourself as a leader? Here's the top things you need to do. Right, so I sent out an email to our list the last couple of days saying, here's the top 10 power tips to master LinkedIn like a pro, because I've been on that platform for 15 years, I think it is. So areas where you have expertise, do not be shy in saying, I'm going to help you do this better than anybody else because I know what I'm talking about. And then plan your content. And this goes for all of your content. And email marketing should just be supporting your overall content strategies once you get this going. So you want to have yearly, quarterly, monthly, and weekly goals and themes for all of your content. You want to have goals for each piece of content as well. And for each piece of content, know who that target audience is that you are delivering and want to target with that piece of content. And then make sure you're varying, your mediums, whether you're using visual, video, audio. Our goal is to create once and use many. It's what we call evergreen content. So our goal is that we can create these conversations that are a bigger umbrella conversation. And then we can have that drumbeat continuously driving that conversation. That drumbeat is what creates that connection. Okay, that continuous. It's not just about one pinnacle piece of information. It's also the follow-up that you get from that. So that's where email marketing comes in. You can create an amazing white paper or worksheet, and then you can provide, through automated email, tips that support that. So you can also grab our content calendar template. I publish a new one every year. You can grab our 2020 right now. We're getting ready to publish the 2021. And that URL is themarketingnuts.com. That's with the Z.com/calendar. And you can go grab that at no charge. So it's something that our audience, our community we've been publishing that for over 10 years and people love it. So that's that drumbeat and consistency. Like I have people emailing me right now saying, when are we going to get the 2021? I'm like, hold on, it's coming. So marketing is no longer just about the stuff you sell, right? Marketing is about the stories you tell. And yes, that rhymes, but I didn't plan the rhyme. You get the jokes for free. So it's about the stories you tell. So what is your story? How are you going to engage your audience? If there's something you're super passionate about, share that with your email community, your subscribers. And brand storytelling, when you share, this is why this matters to me. This is why I'm so passionate about it. We do email sequences when somebody even opts into like our calendar. And one of the last emails in our sequence, I share why I'm passionate about it, why we started it. And so when you share those stories, it connects you and your brand to the heart of your customer in relevant and meaningful ways. Okay. And relevancy matters because that is what is going to help build trust and earn attention. That's how you're going to get attention and you're going to get the trust. And when you have attention and you have trust, you have action. That's when people click, subscribe, like, and buy, when they know that they can trust you. And people don't just buy things, they join things, right? People are looking for community. And so I want you to look at your email subscribers as something bigger than just an email list. Yes, we want to grow our list, but I want them to feel like they're part of a community. You're treating them like humans. You're utilizing email to humanize your brand and to truly engage them and let them know they're part of something that's bigger than just, a spam email trying to sell to them. So some ways to engage them are ask questions, right? Most of my emails start with a question. Do you ever feel? Or do you think this? And a ninja tip is the email service providers that decide whether our email is spam or not. They love it when you talk like a human, okay? If you're just talking in boring business talk, you're going to have a higher chance of going to spam. So you want your content to be human, and even typos, purposeful typos I recommend those to our audiences. If you subscribe to our newsletter, you'll see once in a while there's purposeful typos in there because we're trying to kind of trick the ESPs. And when we engage our audience, then it helps with our deliverability, it helps with our open rates, and it helps with our overall performance of our email programs. So make them think different. Be bold with your opinion. Even if everybody else in your market is talking about this particular topic and you're like, Pam, I don't even need to go there. Everybody else is already doing this. Make them think different because you share your content, your opinion. Push them to your digital content that will engage them. Share stories that trigger emotion, right? That makes them laugh, cry, feel something right now other than fear. Give them hope and inspire them to take action, real action. And bottom line, when we inspire our audiences to connect with us with the top goal of helping them achieve their goals, we will achieve our goals by default. So tip number 5, our last one, and then we'll go into our demo, is create your funnel that converts. And I have just a few tips here, and then we're going to be going straight into a live demo of GetResponse, where I'm going to show it to you in action. So for your funnel, you really want to be thinking about the buyer's journey. Okay. So understanding where your dream customer is, that top buyer persona, where they are on their buyer's journey. Are they just discovering who you are? Are they considering a purchase? Are they making a decision? Or are they, already a customer? Maybe you're trying to take them to the next level or keep them loyal, whatever that may be. When it comes to your landing page, less is truly more. So you want to be thinking, what is your number one goal? What will they receive? So when they go to your landing page, you want to be very specific with what they will receive. Why should they opt in? Like, what's in it for them? Why should they trust you? And, you can include what we call some social proof, or you include a little blurb about yourself, or, something that's on there that helps them trust you, your logo, those types of things. How and when will it be delivered? And the when is really important, as is the how. So this will be emailed to you within immediately, or within, if whatever it may be. With GetResponse, those emails are going out right away if you're delivering something, but be very specific. And then make sure you're creating templates so that you can build consistency. And it's okay to use the same templates over and over. Once you have a landing page that converts, we have for our platform, and we have a huge platform, with big spider legs all over the web that we've been building for 10 years. There are very few templates that we use. We use the same templates over and over. I get an average conversion of about 62 to 87% on all of our landing pages using these exact methodologies that I'm teaching you today. So that's conversion for free offers. So when somebody goes to download something, we're converting at those rates. We use a lot of the same templates over and over. If it's not broken, don't fix it. So optimize your landing page with a clear call to action. Don't put 20 call to actions on the landing page. Don't put 3. Put 1. What is that? 1 call to action, 1 button, and use bright colors where you want to draw attention. So the button is a great thing to have a bright color or something that pops out to them. You want their eye to flow. And when somebody is looking at a page, it's always going to start the top left. It's going to go to the right. Then it's going to zag down to the bottom left, and it's going to end up on the bottom right. So if you're creating a page, you need to think of that. And if you're creating like a list of bullets, you need to think about that. First bullet is important, middle is important, and probably a last bullet is important. So, and now if you go look at my content, you'll probably see why I do some of the things I do, even in bullets. So it's thinking like the user, getting in their head. What are they doing when they're opening this, on their mobile device or wherever they may be? So getting in their head. So you're going to reap what you socially sow. This goes for everything digital. This goes for email marketing. You are investing now to harvest later. You are, you want to be focused on inspiration and driving ideas and community focused, and think clear call to action and empowerment with every email and brand touch point. It takes between 6 and 7 brand touches for somebody to remember your brand. Okay, so Daria, we're going straight to the demo now, right? And then we'll come back to the presentation. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, so hopefully, can everybody see my screen? Yes, hopefully so. Okay, so this is what you will see when you log into GetResponse. You'll see something like this, and they do have a free trial. Daria will be talking about that at the end of this training, as well as we have another announcement. But so what I'm going to show you really quick right now is how to create a newsletter and how to create a landing page, and show you exactly just how simple this is. And I'll tell you, we have tested just about every email marketing system that's out there. And GetResponse, I used GetResponse clear back in the very early days. I started with them. And their system is just so simple, but yet so robust. And you'll see that as we go in here. So what I did is just clicked, oh, I should go back. Let me go back because I should show you a few more things. So you have create form, you have create newsletter, create landing page, add contacts, and then create autoresponder. And an autoresponder is going to be that automatic email that goes back to people. You can create a series with that, a sequence. You'll hear it called all different types of things. And the cool thing about email marketing is you start to build out your different campaigns and focus areas. You can start connecting them together, right? So somebody can opt in for one download from you, and then you can migrate them based on where they are in that buyer's journey. And GetResponse makes it really easy for you to do that as well. So they have training that you can check out here, tips on building out your email marketing list, and affiliate program that you can sign up for, and then all kinds of data, which is really important for you to make sure that you're looking at your own stats for your newsletter, like we talked about earlier, and just looking at benchmarks and really making sure that your email is performing as it should. So we're going to go into create newsletter, and GetResponse is going to drive everything they're going to guide you automatically really easily through everything you need to fill out. And I'm just going to show you a few of these fields here and how we would do this. And then I've created a draft newsletter that I'll show to you here in a minute, and you can see what one would look like all populated. So it's going to, we could start out here and we could say webinar test newsletter. So you can title it. These names are really important. I always recommend coming up with a naming structure when you're doing a campaign. Like if this was on our audience marketing, we would have this say like audience 20. That would mean this is part of our audience marketing 2020 campaign. So think about some of those things internally so you can start to group those. And then you can always edit this name. This name, nobody's going to see but you. Okay, but it's really important. Just ninja tip, keep your stuff organized from the very beginning. It'll make your life easier later. And then you can, choose what list you're going to be sending this to. who it's linked to. So here you can see here. I'm not going to go through every single thing on here, but then I can say, who is this email from? So I have this set up. So it's coming from Pam at marketingnuts.com, my email. And then subject line. So this is where you want to have something catchy. So we could say, top tips for landing your dream client. You can put whatever you want on here. And just, you can do a search on Google for high performing subject lines. There's all kinds of resources out there for what to use, what not to use, words that'll get you in spam, words that won't. So I encourage you, Google is your best friend when it comes to some of these things. And then recipient. So this is where I'm going to choose who I want to send this to. So I don't have any lists in here, but you could see how easy it would be. I could segment my list. If I had segments set up, this is where I would do this. And then this is where I would start designing my content. So I would just click on design message. And this is the beautiful part. So look at all these amazing templates that GetResponse has. And they honestly are beautiful. And like I said, we've worked in a lot of email marketing programs. These are so easy to use. You can narrow down your search. You can, save your own templates. You can start with a blank template if you want. And you can also search by different categories. So depending on what your goals are. But the one that I selected, I'll preview it for you, and then I'm going to go straight over to my draft. So this was the one that I selected. So when I show you, and I just did a quick down and dirty version of this. If I wanted to use this, I would just click on use this template. And then it would load it, and I would just start editing it. That simple. I mean, that's it. I could come in here and I would just start editing that template and save it. So let's go ahead. We're going to go back out. And now I'm going to show you the draft of the one that I did. So this was the one I just did a minute ago that you saw me do. And you see, so it's nice to see that audience 20, right? So if I was wanting to do a search for, maybe there was an email I wanted to reuse again, the template, I would be able to find that very easily, or I could pull up a search and be able to find those for anything that had the audience 20 with it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the one that I pre-populated for you. And you can see here, I put buyer personas 101, the why, how, and when to use them. Okay. And this was an actual subject line that I've used in an email that performed very well. Okay. People like to be told, like I said, what to do. They want to know what they're going to get in once they open that. And I wanted people to know it was a 101 level training, right? So if you've never done it before, this is going to help you do it. So be specific with that. And so now if I come into the message here, I want to show you, it actually had a default where you could add a logo. I didn't, I removed that just for simplicity's sake here today. This right here is going to be our header text. We can easily edit this text. So I have like the #1 secret to more of the right customers. Now, so you can edit that there. I then have my image. And so what I recommend, jump into something like Canva, or, if you're an Adobe person, you can do this in Adobe Illustrator. Canva is probably easier for most people, but create yourself a couple different email header templates. So we have ones that we use that are generic for downloads. And then we have some that just have my name on it that I use for like a welcome email. And then we have some that are specific when we have a specific campaign we're doing. So that's what this one was, is it was specific for buyer personas. And so what we do is when we send this email, we make this a clickable link. So then people are able to actually click on the link, and then it also takes them straight to the download page. And this is a high converting way. When we include images, as long as we're able to get to the inbox and it doesn't go to spam, it's very high converting. A lot of people will click on that header. So no matter what type of image that you're adding, make sure that you, #1, are not adding too many images, and that you are adding a link. I like to not include more than 3 links in one email. And we try to not do more than like 2 different, but I will never do more than 3 different URLs in one email. And we try to minimize that. If you can have just 1, that's even better. And then you can see I just have my content here. It's personalized for their first name. It's very friendly and, using colors, using bold. And then there's a call to action that's also down here as well as with a button. And you'll notice for signature, you can include your business if you want to, but I have found that, we have found through a lot of testing and data that keep it human. A lot of times if you just say, cheers, Pam, you're going to get into that inbox and get those emails open. So that's how easy it is. You can see is that if I click on anything, then it just appears over here on the right. I can change what, you call the padding and spacing around images. So if I wanted to delete this space, it's super easy to do right now. I just move it up and, you can actually drag and drop things, same as with their landing page. So there you have it. That would be how we create our email newsletter. And so let's go back now and I'll show you a quick landing page. So the landing page process is pretty similar. I mean, once you create your newsletter, you're going to feel comfortable creating your landing page inside of GetResponse. And so,
can you hear me? Yeah. Is there a possibility to just make the screen a bit larger, you think? Because we're getting messages that the screen appears to be very
cool. Yes, I can. Is that better?
Yeah, that would be great. Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, yeah. So hopefully that's better. Okay, so this is pretty much the same thing. So you can come in here and you can search by whatever your goal is. So let's search for like downloads, and you can then select your landing page template. Now, I encourage you to test different styles and don't just follow what your competition is doing when it comes to these things, because they may not be converting. You need to do your own testing. And I'll tell you some crazy stats. So we get to 62 to 87. I mean, I have some landing pages that are at 100% on some days with decent traffic, where 100% of people are opting in. And you want to know what they are? A lot of them are this simple type of thing right here. And this is not the one that I developed for you today, but a lot of times just throwing an image behind it, literally with a title and a button, where people can add their email address. Do not overcomplicate it. Do not delay your email marketing and your landing page creation because you haven't mastered the perfect words to say, or you haven't mastered the perfect image and you're waiting, the next 3 weeks from your designer. Keep it simple. Don't be afraid to use stock imagery, right? We get most of ours now from Deposit Photos is who I like to use. I have no affiliate relationship with them. But I find that they're the best deal. They have the subscriptions but keep it simple, and then when you're testing, test different types of pages. So we will always either use something that is very image focused or something that is business focused. So the one that I chose to show you for a test, I would do something like this. So where we would have a strong header, and then we would have maybe an image. We would include some bullets or something, and then with just a strong call to action, because I basically just want them to do the opt-in. And I want them to opt in and get the content because I want their email, and I want to then start nurturing them and providing them value. So if we go to drafts, and I did this really simple on purpose for you. So let me go back. Hold on, I clicked on the wrong thing. I'm going to click on drafts. I don't know why it's not showing. It's showing my email. That's so weird. Let me go back. I'll just go create another one. I don't know why, Daria, it's showing my, so I'm just going to create a new landing page. I think that would be the easiest thing to do. So I'm just going to create a new landing page right now. So we'll do this on the fly. I'll select this template. So we'll do buyer persona. Lander. We always call ours landers in our own naming system. It's just shorter. So I created this template. I selected this template. I love these little monster things that pop up. So I'll just show you how easy this is. So you can add your logo if you want to add your logo here. You can delete your logo so you can come in here. I could say, use my logo if I want to use it, size it, do all the things you need to do. We don't have time to do all that stuff right now. So I'm going to delete this now because I'm not going to mess with it. You can duplicate it if you want to duplicate anything. Hold on. All right. So then here is text there for you. It says free download. I can move all this stuff up. All right. And be careful how much you edit these things, because a lot of times these are already designed for conversion. So although it's easy to change everything, I warn you to not change everything. Trust your partners when it comes to the technology you're using. So here I could just change this, and I'll just say buyer persona worksheet. And if I want to edit this up, if I want to make this a different color, I can just make it a different color like this. If I want to decrease, see how there's a lot of spacing between those two words? All I got to do is come up here. I can decrease that. I can make the font smaller if I want. We don't want the fonts to be all over each other. I want to be able to get this and edit this. So if you ever see that like something, you can't move it, like you can't get to it, you probably just have another element that's on top of it. All right. So don't freak out if that happens. And then let's see, I'll come in and I'll make this one black, and I'll say increase ROI on all of your marketing. Okay. And so then here now it's leading me. See, it's telling me everything to do. So now I want to replace this image. So I'm just, for fun, putting this little image up here. So there's a little image that I replaced that with. I can size that. See how nicely I can size that. And then here is my download button. Okay. So then I can come in here and I can edit my download button. That's not working. So let's make that a little bigger. It messed up because I put it inside of there. Move this out. So it still thinks I'm editing that. That's what happened. Okay. So, and that's why they like people like me doing these, because I haven't spent a lot of time in here and you're seeing what it would really be like your first time. Okay. So I didn't do any massive training on this. This is literally me jumping in here and doing this. So you can see I could change this text. I could say get worksheet. You notice how few clicks I'm having to do on all this? I'm literally able to just click and edit. Okay, so I can change the color of this button if I wanted to. We don't have time today to show you everything, but that simple. And then if I wanted to add the text, I could add bullets, any of these things. If I don't want to have any of these, I can just delete this. I can delete whole sections. So if I didn't want to have this section on this page, I can delete this whole section. It's gone. Okay, this can be another place that they sign up for the same email, for the same download. But you can add sections, you can delete sections, we can add buttons, we can edit our buttons, but you don't have to overcomplicate these things. I mean, literally, you can have this done in a matter of just a few minutes. So that was really our goal today, was just to be able to show you how easy these things are to do. So we're going to go ahead and go to editor, but you will also do the mobile version of that as well. I'm going to go back, and then you want to take us back to the presentation, Daria? Okay, I'm back. Okay, so now I'm just going to wait for Daria to get here back on. While she's coming back on, I also want to share that we are doing, this is one of our big announcements. We are doing a 30-day landing page challenge. And so all of you are invited. I hope to see all of you there with us. And basically, it's an opportunity for you to make yourself accountable in building out your first landing page and your newsletter and all those things. We're going to have a contest where there's going to be some prizes at the end. And then we're going to give you step-by-step guidance and helping keep you accountable. You're going to be in a community together where you can hopefully network and grow your business and share and get ideas from the community and the other members that are participating. And there will be exclusive live training that we'll be doing. I'll be diving back in, doing live training. We'll be answering questions. And then it starts today and it goes all the way through September 26th. So I see you're back, Daria.
Yep, I am. Can you hear me?
I can.
Great. So I think we have time just for one question, unfortunately, so we can answer this one. But I want to assure you that, of course, I received all your questions and Pam is going to help me answer those. And I'm going to then send you an email with all the answers. So just let me get here real quick. And here we get a good one, which is better, email or social media marketing?
Okay, that is an awesome question. And it's not an either or, okay? Email marketing, social media work together like magic, honestly. So my best advice to you is don't pick one. You need to do them both, and you need to do them both at the same time. And one is going to make the other more successful, because social media is going to be what's going to be able to help you grow your email list, and probably more than anything you do, unless you do paid advertising. So your content, your blog, social media is all going to help you grow your email list. And then all the content that you create, you're going to be able to publish and push right back to the social channels.
All right. And then just quickly one more. So will the image within the newsletter make it more likely to end up in the promotion step?
So I recommend testing that. There's some tools that you can use to test it. There's a tool that I like called Block Apps that you can send an email to and test that. And it'll tell you like where it's showing up as far as the inbox or the tabs or the promotions tab. But it really is a combination of things. So it's not like one image is going to put you to the promotions tab, but it's a combination of things. So if you have an image and you're using too many spammy words and you have too many links, then you're likely going to show up in spam, right? And so many people always want to blame the platform. And honestly, when I first started out with email marketing, it was back in the 90s. We worked at one of the first email marketing companies, me and my husband, my partner in business and life. We worked at one of the first email marketing companies that ever did the multi-part alternative email. And our customers would always complain, well, we're going to spam. But 99.9% of the time, it's not because of your email platform. It's because of the content, right? And so content's everything. Just make sure your images have the right descriptions, and GetResponse helps make sure that happens, and that you're not using too large of images, and that you don't have too many of them. So just, one image is, when you're first starting, is probably a good way to start.
All righty. And unfortunately, we're going to just finish on that. And of course, as I said, I've got all your questions. Thank you very much for all the questions. And me and Pam are going to answer those and send it to you via email. So once again, Pam, thank you very much for the presentation. It's been packed with all the very important, very interesting insights, a lot of practical information that I've seen in comments that a lot of our people enjoyed, a lot of attendees enjoyed. So thank you, I did as well, greatly. And once again, just to confirm, we did record this webinar, and we will be sending you email with webinar recording, also with this amazing slide deck prepared by Pam. So all the resources, I'll make sure that you guys receive. And just as Pam said, meanwhile, while you're waiting for the email, please go ahead and put your knowledge into practice. So please, after you will be exiting this webinar room today, you will see the link that will take you to the landing page where you can sign up for our 30-day landing page challenge. Also, you will get another email with us with the webinar recording presentation. You will get a link there as well. So there will be plenty of links, plenty of information going on. So you will actually get a chance to sign up for the landing page. Then all you have to do is wait for us to provide you with further instructions, because then you can join our Facebook group, private Facebook group. All the action will be happening. Then you'll just have to go and sign up for free trial with GetResponse, or if you already have an account, please go into your account. create your landing page design using all of the tips that Pam shared today. And you can go ahead then and post it in the private Facebook group. Me and Pam will be there. We'll be waiting for your submissions. We'll be regularly also interacting with them, commenting on them, giving you additional tips. And as Pam said, in the end, we will also hold a Facebook Live event. So we will answer all your questions and we will select a winner of the challenge. So the winner will get a great prize, which is a free 1-year subscription to GetResponse platform. So I hope it sounds great for you guys. And of course, join to get more experience, to get more information, to be accountable and join the discussions and the fellowship of all people in the group. So it's time we will be stopping our event. So thank you very much once again, Pam, and everyone who joined. And
thank you. It's my pleasure. Thanks, everybody. I hope to see you in the challenge too. It'll be fun.
Absolutely. See you all guys there.